signed you up for group housing. Is that correct?
No, I didn't actually.
Oh, okay. So normally that's one of our protocols, especially if we have clients that doesn't have housing or are on homeless, but then you're currently staying at a friend's house, right?
Occasionally,
Yeah. So we definitely want to always try to route our case managers to go to the group housing route because it's an option. You can refuse it if you want to.
Yeah, I don't want group housing.
Which is not an issue. So me and Ray was talking about what is the different alternatives for you right now because you want housing right now. So I get that idea and I get your concern.
Well, it's not, everybody wants housing right now,
right?
But there's an apartment above my friend's that's open right now.
So
and
Ray,
I would like to try to get in there.
So what happened was Ray shared with me is that she got in contact with the person in the building and that you have an income of $750, correct? So the person in the apartment,
it's $771 actually
for the rent. Okay, for your income.
Yeah.
So basically, what was it? The housing manager. So basically, what the housing manager shared was who's going to pay your difference of the $1,200.
Yeah, because you asked me how much I could pay, and I said like a third of the income. That's normally what.
So that particular building is not low income housing. Normally, if it's a low income housing building or facility, you would pay 30% of your income, which would probably come out to, I want to say 200 or roughly around 200. But because it's not a low income housing building.
Well, I got a friend, and the friend that I'm staying with, they pay a third for him.
Okay.
And his rent is exactly identically $1,200 a month. So what are you trying to say?
So his rent is $1,200 a month?
Yeah, that's right. And he pays $270. So I asked how much.
So the lady questioned who's going to pay the difference.
Yeah.
So that means that apartment is not.
So you got to go through HUD.
Yeah, but HUD is not open. So if your friend has Section 8, then he has Section 8 to cover the rest.
What do you mean HUD's not open?
So HUD is Section 8, part of the state. So there's state, HUD, and then there's Section 8. So one is federal and one is state. Both housing departments are closed. They're not accepting new clients. So one is a federal funded, one is state funded. They're both not open.
Well, I signed up with HUD a long time ago.
So are you on the list?
I should be. I signed up.
So that's one thing you can do.
I signed up at Caravan when I first got here.
So Ray, you can double check. You can call HUD to see where he's at on the list. So keep in mind, if you signed up, you should be on the list. So that's one step that Ray can help you with to see what your status is right now. Making sure that everything is updated, your contacts is updated on their files. But from here, if you don't have HUD or anything to cover,
well, they told me that my the waiting list would be like 15 years or some crazy shit when I first got here.
I don't know if it's that long, but it's pretty long. Like they closed the list. That's how bad it is here in Hawaii. So they open it for a certain amount, they collect applications, and then they close it for like another 5 years. And then they open it again. So it's a open and close process. So that's definitely one thing you can double check is if he's still on the list and where he's at. Okay. So as far as housing right now, today, if you can't make up that difference, then HUD can't do it if you're still on the list. You have to.
What do you mean make up what difference?
Of the 1,200. So according
what difference of the 1,200?
So you said your friend pays a third of it.
Yeah.
30%.
Yeah.
So we're gonna say 30%.
Yeah.
Right.
So if I can't make up 270.
So 1,200.
Yeah.
Right, is the rent.
Yeah.
So your friend, according to your friend, he only pays 30%.
That's right. He pays 270.
So in this situation with the apartment that you were looking at, the housing manager said that who's gonna pay the difference if your income is only at $750. So that's what Ray is trying to tell you, that this is what she's getting from the housing people.
I don't understand what you're saying. She's looking for somebody to cover the difference.
because you can't cover the 1,200.
Yeah. I can pay $273.
Okay, so who's gonna cover the rest of your rent?
That's a good question. That's what you guys are here for.
So Ray, there's nobody. We don't pay for rent. We provide assistance, and the only other alternatives would be through HUD and Section 8.
Okay, so you got me. So you got me going to group housing at first until you can find me something. So when you gonna? I mean,
even our group housing is hard to get in.
Yeah. So
Everywhere
I mean,
it's hard.
So what are you guys doing then exactly?
So we're trying to find appropriate housing. You know where we refer a lot of our clients is boarding homes. Because those
is what
boarding homes. You know, like rooms to rent, because those are cost efficient for them. So a lot of people go to boarding homes. You might not agree to it, and it's okay. But we're trying to find different alternatives for you so that you don't have to.
I want an apartment.
Yeah. So you have to be patient, and Ray can go through the process with you. But
okay, what exactly is the process?
Applying.
Okay, I've already applied like twice.
Okay. So,
right. I mean, you did the paperwork once with Chris, and then you had me redo, and you're running 2 files now that you got going.
Those are consent forms, just so that we could communicate. That was the other one wasn't.
Well, I mean, I re-signed everything twice already down
just
here.
Because I'm a new case manager, and those only apply
right.
to the other Chris.
Yeah. So, I mean, did that started me all over again? To where like all that's dead time in the water?
No, we just needed updated consent forms. Like that had nothing to do with housing though. Those consent forms.
What do you mean updated?
Your charts. Every client here has a chart. So Ray was making sure that your chart was updated as far as case management goes.
So I mean, I'm still basically where I started though in the process.
So
I didn't like start all over.
No.
Okay.
So basically, your next step would
So who have you heard back from since you've sent all that out? Nobody.
You're still on the waiting list, yes, for the group housing. But I know you didn't want that, so that's why we're trying to move forward.
Yeah, I don't want group housing for sure.
Not a problem. So the next step would be to check with HUD, see where he's at on the list, and then we can start applying. So applying to low income housing, basically. That's the next option, is to apply you to low income housing since you don't want group housing. So that's
okay. What's low income housing?
So buildings that would go according to your income, which is 30% of what you make.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, she'll go according to 30%.
So where
my landlord, the 1,200, she'll go according to that.
Is that correct, Ray?
She asked me who was going to cover the rest. She didn't.
Can you call her
right now?
Yeah, I can
call her, definitely. Yeah. I don't.
She just wants to, she said she couldn't understand why you guys wouldn't cover it. She just wants to know who can cover it. So.
So in order to get
but she'll she's willing to go that route just as long as she gets her rent.
So do you understand? She's wondering who's.
Yeah, I understand. It's a flip flopping back and forth.
You have to apply to places for it, but there isn't anywhere, like I said, because HUD is closed, Section 8 is closed. So those are the only pretty much alternatives that you would be able to go through to get somebody to cover the rest of the rent, unless they're willing to take that accommodations. So low income housing buildings that does take 30% only goes directly according to your 30%. They don't worry about who's gonna cover the rest. That's what I'm trying to say. So I don't know what call this lady. I don't know what she's implying. Who's gonna cover the rest, because
she's not implying anything. She just wants her rent, and she's wondering what you guys do, and if you're not going to cover the rest then
it's not a low income housing building, if that's the case.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But neither is my friend's apartment, but he still has somebody covering the rent for him.
So that's he probably has Section 8.
He probably does, I guess.
Yeah.
So you're gonna call them to find out where I'm at on the list and tell them there's an apartment open, and or I gotta wait 15 years.
Waiting.
Well, I don't know if they even know who to contact anymore, to be honest.
Hey Linda, this is Ray from Care Hawaii. I was Chris Hansen's case manager. I spoke to you last week.
You still are.
I'm sorry. I am Chris Hansen's case manager, and I spoke to you last week about the apartment that he was looking at. If you could just give me a call back to verify a few things, that'd be awesome, at 808-228-7821. Thank you. Bye.
So our next step is to see where he is at on HUD.
Okay.
And then after that, moving forward, it would just be applying you to low income housing. To whatever.
Well, I wish something would move forward.
Yeah.
I've been waiting. It took me like 4 years to just get a case manager. And now there's an apartment open, and it's like jumping through hoops and pulling teeth just to get anything moving forward.
That's Hawaii, period. That's not just.
That seems to be Hawaii.
Yeah.
And not only that, California and LA and Oregon and Washington State and everywhere else.
Yeah. So Ray can see where you're at on HUD, because pretty much that would be the people, HUD or Section 8. That would be the people that would be able to cover. Other than that, the only other suggestion would be to apply you to low income housing that goes directly only according to your income, which would be 30% of what you make.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much what we're looking at right now, and then we can try and follow up with.
And is now are them basically regular Huh? Are them regular apartments?
Yeah, but then again, because it's low income.
I've already been to Shelter Plus.
Right.
I don't even think they're there anymore, are they? Shelter Plus.
With IHS, I think they are.
Oh yeah.
So that's another program that you can try and get in contact with.
I'm not going to live at IHS.
Oh no, I didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
I said she can contact them because they're another organization that help with funding.
Oh, okay.
But if you don't want her to do it,
no, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I said I'm not going to live there. I'm not living that next step with bed bugs in a warehouse. I'm not going to go live in a gang oriented atmosphere.
Yeah.
So
I didn't say that.
I had a friend that was staying at IHS. There was a fight upstairs. They fell on his arm, broke his arm. It's not safe.
I don't care for that.
I'm not going to go there.
Try and call Shelter Plus. That's another agency. And then he can't really go to Becky because he's technically not. He's your house, right? You're staying with a friend. Are you on the VIASPA list?
What's that?
It's like a database where you chart that you're homeless.
I
don't know.
You can also follow up with Becky to see if he's on there.
On that list. Okay.
Yeah. The only stipulation is the shelter. But just go try it and go to Shelter Plus. That's IHS. If you need more information, you can contact Lending. Tell her that I told you to ask her for more information about that. And then follow up with HUD to see where he's at on the list. Yeah. And then the next thing would be HUD. And then follow up with Becky to see if there's any applications for low income housing. And I'm going to share with you that the process of low income housing is long as well. So I'm not going to sugarcoat anything.
No, right I don't expect you
nor
to.
do I want you to get angry in any what way, because Ray is reaching out. She has been reaching out to me and making sure that she's able to provide that care for you, and she wants to make sure that she's doing it right. So it's just
Yeah, I understand the whole thing with the supervisor thing today, because I had to call a supervisor because she said that Chris said that I had to go,